Perfect. Let's get started. Like I said, my name is Robin. I'm from Hikvision South Africa. And today I'll be introducing the HikProConnect. So let's get started. So this is our training one. So our HikProConnect, this is for our site management. So just to go through our system structure, just so some of you guys are aware that the HikProConnect is only for our installers. And also we have the end user, which is our customer or our clients. Okay, so for our system structure for the HikProConnect, what is the installer able to do? Is able to see the centralized management and easy configuration. And this is also for with low cost and high efficiency. Also, what are we able to do on this? Everything is based on our cloud server. We are able to see our CCTV devices, alarm devices, access control and intercom, as well as our doorbells. So all of our devices are now integrated within our HikProConnect software. Also bear in mind that this is only for Hikvision devices and not for any third-party devices. Okay, so for our homepage introduction for our training today, we have our site management. What is our site management based on? It's our site page overview, how to add a physical site. We also look at existing sites that might have already been created. We also look at how we are able to assign a site to an installer. We also look at how we are able to invite a particular site owner, as well as apply for authorization from site owner. Also, our new functionality that we have is our health monitoring, which we'll get into more detail. Okay, what do we get from our physical homepage? If you're looking at our physical homepage, okay, it gives us various aspects on our site overview. Okay, it gives us our amount of sites. It includes our authorized and our non-authorized sites. So when we talk about authorized sites, that's sites that our end user has allowed us to add onto our HikProConnect software. Also, we're looking at our device overview. On our device overview, we're able to see our statuses of our physical devices, for example, our online and our offline devices. We also have our tutorial center at the bottom left, which also gives us our tools, which were on our exception notification. We're also able to see all our devices, whether they're online or offline. We also have our introducing our rewards program, which I'll get to later. This is our new rewards program that Hikvision introduced for all our installers. Okay, we also have our tutorial center. Under our tutorial center, we have physical videos that will assist installers when doing installations. We also have a solution guide as well as our user manual. Also on our tools section, under our tools section, we're able to see the device compatibility list. Also, we have our data sheet and our what's new. We are also able to see in our frequently used functionality, for example, our device management, add-in sites, and our linkage methods. Okay. So also on our homepage introduction, if you're looking at our homepage introduction, this is our rewards program that Hikvision has now introduced for our installers. So what do we get under our rewards program? So what this allows us to do is to redeem points every time we, for example, add a new device to our account, invite new employees, using certain functionalities of this. So what can we do with these points? We are able to, for example, purchase license for our cameras. We're also able to purchase all device for monthly packages, which we have two different packages. We have our 30-day annual package, as well as our 7-day packages. Okay, so every time you open up your HikProConnect software, on the top, it will advise you, please check in today. Once you check in today, you'll, for example, get 1 point. If you add a certain amount of devices, you will receive a certain amount of points. Like I said, you are able to redeem these points, and you're able to purchase functionalities on our HikProConnect software. Okay, what do we do on our site manager? Okay, what are we able to do on our site manager? If you can look at our overview on our site manager, we are able to add a new site. What does that mean? Once we have added a site, it gives us the site name. For example, demo home. It gives us our client's address as well as who is the site owner. So the site owner will also have his devices on there. If you can see on the left and on the right hand side, it gives us our number of devices, the encoding, as well as our video intercom devices, who is the site manager, and well as the authorization. So once you click on our site manager overview, we're able to add our devices as well as migrate our devices from the existing HikConnect account. Okay, so I'll play a short video and then go through it with you.
Hello everyone, this video will introduce how to add site, devices, and invite others on HikProConnect portal. Open Home, Site. First step, add a new site. Click Add New Site. Set a site name, time zone, site address, city, and a state, province, region. Also, you can check synchronize time and time zone to device. Then click OK button to save. Second step, add devices. Click Add Device button. Here are two ways: online device and menu adding. The portal can detect available devices connect to the same network, which makes it devices information about themselves. For example, IP address recognized by the portal. Based on the information, you can add devices quickly. The IP address of the device and the PC should be in the same network segment, or you cannot add device. Second way, menu adding. Before adding the device, make sure that point 1, the device is active and has enabled HikConnect. Point 2, the device is not added to any HikConnect or HikProConnect accounts.
Okay, so I'm going to stop the video over there, guys. So basically what I will be able to send you this video after the physical training. Basically what the video is showing us, the two ways of physically adding our devices onto our HikProConnect. So if an installer goes to a site for the very first time, he will then add the site to the HikProConnect and then hand it over to his physical end user. Or if it's a site that's already existed and the client has a HikConnect application already with all his devices, we are then able to import the devices from his HikConnect app onto our HikConnect portal, HikProConnect portal. Okay. So this is again just showing us how they physically added the site on the video. It's very, very simple. A new site, we will just create a site name. You obviously give the time zone, the site address, the city, as well as the state. If it has an existing site, we will just then import the existing site and add it to the HikProConnect portal for the installer. Okay. Also, what is very important over here when we're talking about the registration. So if it is a new site, we will then send an email to a client two ways. One is via email. So it's either to his HikConnect portal, which he has already created, or we will send him an invitation to please accept our HikConnect application, and then the end user is able to install it. The reason why we use in the email address is because we picked up a lot of clients has registered with the cell phone number and has lost their cell phone, and we're having a bit of challenges with that. So it's advisable to send an email to a client. Okay, if you're looking at adding a new site again, it just shows us on, besides the not invited, not registered, not accepted, invited, not authorized, this also shows us, if you look at the first line, it shows us that we have now added a site to our HikProConnect. There is no site owner and we haven't added any devices. Okay, so it's advising us to please add a site owner and then add the devices that is needed for this particular site. If you look on the third line, there is a hand over there, which means that the site has now been created. The installer has now done all the configuration. He has added the physical devices. He now needs to hand it over to the end user, which would be the client. Because remember, we are using, the installer uses the HikProConnect and the client uses HikConnect. Okay, it also shows us once we have handed over the site to the physical client, the client then will accept that these are his devices on his physical network and then will allow authorization. What is certain authorizations that is able to give us? He is able to give us permanent authorization. That means that he would like the installer to physically manage his site for him. For example, if there's downtime on his site, he gives him remote configuration as well as his live view. Or he can give the technician certain authorization for certain days. So if the installer would like to come to site in 2 or 3 days, he's able to give him permission for 5 or 6 hours and then deregister him basically from his site. So he's able to do so. Okay. Also, it just basically shows us again on the right-hand side, this is the invitation that the client would get. So on this example is when the client has not, he does not have a HikConnect application. He would then send him an email. He will then click on the link. The client then will register all his details and then clicks the self-registration and accepts for the installer. Okay. If you have an existing site, this is also optional. So if the client has an existing site already, we'll put in the client's site ID details, and then we will pull in all his devices and add it to a particular site owner, and the installer can then manage the physical account for him. Okay, so now what we have here is assigned to an installer. So remember, the HikProConnect now is added to the installer. So the installer has guys that is working for him. For example, the physical installers. The installer would like now to go to a site to do physical work on the site. The installer then would assign a site to, for example, Daniel. He would assign the site to Daniel. He would then give Daniel permissions that he's able to go and work on the site. For example, remote configuration. If he's going to go change physical IP addresses, we're able to give him permission. Is he able to do live view? Is he able to do playback? Is he able to do download logs for certain clients? So he's able to give him permissions for that particular day, or certain permissions that he's able to do on the physical site. Okay. But remember, that can only get assigned by the manager or the owner of the physical HikProConnect. Okay, what are we doing over here? We are able to invite site owner again. What does the site owner say? If you look at the bottom left-hand corner, it says it is not registered. So when we click on the add button, we are then sending an email to the site owner. We are then assigning the site owner what is our permission or our period of time. For this example, we're giving him permanent authorization because this might be somebody who's doing off-site monitoring for a particular client. Okay. Also, this is the application for authorization for site owner. It just gives us the physical steps. So we just click on the physical home page. We click on the site. We enter and apply for the page. If you look on, there's the hand again. What does the hand say? That the site needs to now be handed over to the physical client. Once the site has been handed over to the client, we then apply for permission or authorization from the site owner. The site owner then will accept, and then he will approve authorization, and then the site, and then the owner, the installer is able then to perform certain operations on his physical site. Okay. What is our health monitoring? This is our current key features for our health monitoring. As you can see, we have 8 different applications for our health monitoring. What does it entail? Our health monitoring with a dashboard, which I'll show you on the next slide. This gives us our real-time notifications. the real-time notifications to show us our online and our offline devices. We're able to receive notifications if a site is down, if a particular IP address has changed, if there's conflict of IP on a IP range. Okay, we are able also to configure linkage rules. We're able to manage employee roles and permissions. We're also able to check our log management to see if a site went down, if there's a physical problem on the site, is there a network issue? We are able to send this information to the client as well as to one of our 4 email accounts that we can register, which I'll show on the physical next slide. Okay. Also, we have an installer plus 4 employees, which is able to be added onto our health monitoring. We also have our new feature, which is our co-branding. What is our co-branding? Our co-branding is on the physical HikProConnect software itself. The installer is able to put his physical logo of his company on there. On the physical logo, it will then go through to the end user, and the end user is able to see who is the installer, all his company details on there, for example, his telephone number, his contact details. So in future, if he has lost his telephone number, for example, or lost his phone, once he logs into his HikConnect profile, he's able to find out who he was as installer and is able to contact him for assistance. Also, on our basic package, we also have unlimited devices, which I'll also show you on the following slides. Okay. Also, what is on our health monitoring? Again, our health monitoring gives us our device status on site. So there's 3 parts to our physical functionality. Okay. So we have device status on site. We're able to see our field status of a specific site, as well as our exception center. Okay. So under our exception center, we also see the number of devices that are they have network issues. We can also see our video signal. We're also able to see our storage status. We also see our last inspected time. That means when last was the physical devices show that there was a physical error. So if you look on the first proactive and quick inspection, our online and offline, this is every 4 minutes, it will update on our physical status. Every other status will update on our physical dashboard every 30 minutes. Okay, we are also able to see our remote configuration. We're also able to see our linkage devices. Also on the right-hand side, like I've mentioned, we're also able to export reports for the installer and for the site owner, and the reports is backdated every 7 days. Our 3 different formats, which we're able to do so, is via Excel, CSV, and PDF. Please remember, we are able to only send this to 4 different people on our email listing. Okay, so I'll play the video for you on the health monitoring side.
Hello everyone, this video will introduce health monitoring function of HikProConnect. There are 3 parts in this module: field status of devices in all sites, field status of devices in specific sites, and the exception center. Click Health Monitoring, Health Status on navigation panel to enter Health Monitoring page, and then select all sites from the site list. For installer, you can view the status of each device type in all sites which has been assigned to you. For installer and admin, you can view status of each device type in all the sites. You can view the total number and abnormal number of each type of devices. Including device, you can view status including network status, the number of offline cameras, video signal, storage status, overrating recording status, HDD usage, last inspected time, etc. You can hover the cursor over device name to view its device type and device version. Click Remote Configuration to remotely configure device parameters. Click Refresh in the Operation column to inspect, select including device manually. Click Live View and then select Cameras to live view the video. Click Refresh to inspect all encoding devices in all sites. If you check Abnormal Only, it will display abnormal devices only. Check Display Authorized Device Only to display the devices of which configuration permission has been authorized to you only. Security Control Device. You can view status including network status, remaining battery power, ARCID, number of abnormal peripheral devices, etc. You can refresh user menu for more details.
Okay, I'm going to stop the video over there. So what are we able to physically see over here? As you guys are aware that on our HikProConnect, this basically gives us authorization to do everything we are able to do on normal day-to-day remote configuration. Okay, so we're able to log into our remote configuration. We are able to then to do configuration from one particular portal instead of logging into different devices. Everything is on one portal. So once our devices have been imported onto our HikProConnect, we're able then to do our remote configuration. We're able then to do our live views. We're able to do our playbacks. We're able to check our statuses of our devices, whether these devices are online. For example, if you're having an AX Pro hub and the battery is running flat on that particular device, a notification will get that sent to the installer before the client is even aware of it. The installer would then contact the client. Please, sir, ma'am, your battery life on your AX Pro hub is running flat. Please plug in your AC. So the notifications is live all the time. Then the installer is able to view it and obviously receive the notifications quickly, and is also able to, once if he receives a notification, for example, there's a hard drive issue or there's an IP exception, he's able to log into the HikProConnect, change the physical IP address, format the hard drive, and do everything from one particular portal without even being on site, if he has authorization to do so. Okay. If you're looking at our training summary, we have our two different packages, which is our basic package. Okay. These are ability to add maximum of 1,024 devices to HikProConnect portal. This is for our basic package. Okay. The other important thing on this one is it's one installer for an admin account. He then can add his physical employees on that. So it's one installer for one account. Okay. Also, our remote configuration devices is via cloud P2P, which is a good thing. We don't need to do port forwarding on the client's end, neither on the installer's end. Okay. If we're looking at our health monitoring package, okay, our health monitoring package, so we're able to do our monthly package or we're able to do our yearly packages. Okay. The health monitoring package is for our IP cameras, all our DVRs, NVRs, our alarm panels, our access control. So if you look at it, it's all our devices that Hikvision supports is able to be incorporated into our HikProConnect software itself. Okay, what do we get on our health monitoring? We get in our dashboard, we get in our real-time notifications. We also get in our configure linkage rules and configuration. What does that entail? For example, when we log into our linkage rules, we are able to link certain devices to an account. We are also able to do our line crossing. We're also able to do our motion detection from one physical portal. We're also able to manage employees' roles and permissions. This is also for our installers will assign it to his physical technicians that is going to site. Also our log management, which I showed you previously, which we're able to check on our health monitoring, as well as our co-branding, which is a nice feature, like I mentioned, that will get added onto the end user's account to show that this is the installer that came to my physical premises, and all his details will be on the account. Okay. Also, if you're looking at our list of functions of our HikProConnect, okay, we obviously have our free package. We have our health monitoring package. We have our employee account package. We have our cloud storage package. We have our cloud-based access time and attendance package. Okay, and also explains how these packages are physically charged. Okay, so if we look at our sub account, I'll give you an example. On our sub account service, this is the installer account. This is now for 1 year. Okay, it shows us how the key works. For a more installer account, you can obviously have separate accounts for your employees, and also you assign them for your roles and permissions. Okay, when we're also looking at our feature of our cloud storage box, which is our 6700NI, What is this physically used for? This is used for on-site. For example, if you have a site that you have 8 cameras that you are able to add to this physical box itself, only up to 2 megapixel. What does this box actually do? So for example, if you have this box on your physical LAN network, you are able to, if your DVR or NVR gets stolen, that the data will still get stored on our physical servers itself. So we have a lot of issues with devices get installed with the looting. So this box will able to help us. Okay, so it just shows us that it shows us our bandwidth which we're able to use and our dimensions of our physical box. Also, our free service for until the end of 2021 is our cloud-based time and attendance. Okay, so this cloud-based time and attendance is only used for our MIMO devices. So all our MIMO devices that support cloud time and attendance, we are able to add onto our cloud-based time and attendance platform, and we're able to use this. Okay, so the number of access control devices is only one. So one device for one cloud time and attendance. So one device for one site, basically. Okay. Where can we get this from? The HikProConnect. We are able to scan the physical barcode. We're able to also get it from our HikProConnect.com, and we're also able to get it from the App Store. Remember, so on the physical App Store right now, you're able to get HikProConnect. For HikConnect, we have to obviously go to our appstore.hikvision.com to physically view all of those and to download them. Okay. Is there any questions from anybody, guys?